Hey, this is Brandon Bakei from Engage Small. Today is day one of our second annual week of engagement. We did this last year. We're doing it again this year. It's 5 days. Today's the first day. It's going to be food. So that's restaurants, bars, breweries, coffee shops, things like that. The idea is you're just going to, on social media, tag your favorite and use the hashtag engage small. That's all you have to do. It's super, super easy. I hope you participate. There'll be a new group or sector of businesses every single day, all week. And we have this year, we're going to feature one business. We have an interview with them, and you can see the teaser on our social, and then on our YouTube, we'll have the full interview. So today we're going to be talking with Josh Ingraham of Go Buddha. So I'm here with Josh from Go Buddha. Josh, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for inviting us today, Brandon.
Good, absolutely. So what does Go Buddha do?
We are a healthy meal program, actually hybrid now because we've opened an eatery, a walk-in eatery. So for the first time, you can select your weekly meal program and come meet the chefs. So you can come in, it looks like a healthy Chipotle. You can walk in, you can build your own meal. You can build meals for the day. You can actually pick up meals that are fully prepared for the week. So it's kind of like the most accessible, affordable way you can basically supplement your weekly nutrition. And it all kind of came down, inspired by my time at the Cleveland Clinic and meeting just incredible patients who are fighting for their lives and leaving with brand new diets and plans that they've never seen before, and then watch them come back because the resources weren't available to them. So we're very lucky to be in Rocky River community. So much support with our amazing community, but our overall end all goal is to reach everybody's refrigerator.
That's fantastic. So you said that you now have this walk-in eatery. So what's the base, if you step back from that, what's the base of Go Buddha before that walk-in eatery?
Yep, it's all about mindful eating, being conscious of what you're, taking in, because you are actually made of what you eat, which is interesting, right? Essentially, like we make a lot of different decisions a day, and for some reason we're held captive to these bad food decisions, and that is like it's our source of energy. That's how our body recovers and how it battles disease. So it's kind of amazing to think that if somebody asked you for $100, you'd hesitate, but then if you saw the donut, you wouldn't. So
Right.
Like, what is that mind trick that's we're being stuck on? So we're trying to create we'll bridge the gap between that that knowledge of plant-based foods and just like what is that, and is it accessible to everybody? Because I think it is. Everybody. I think any doctor can agree that everybody could use more vegetables in their diet, regardless. And so even if you're not vegan, right, which is why we position ourselves as plant-based, we believe that anybody can come in, prepare one of our meals, and if they had to take it home and add another sustainable piece of protein to that, then we kind of did the hard stuff for you, right? We went shopping, we prepped all the legumes and the grains and all the different sauces and such. And so we're following the functional medicine code. So less than 5 grams of added sugar, whole food, plant-based, no streaming oil of any sort. All of our dressings and sauces are emulsified with cashews or tofu. So we kind of like created this new code. It's really fun. And it was inspired again. My wife, her father was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. So as a chef and seeing all these meal programs, we wanted to find a way to get him meals to Minnesota, and that's what kind of started that rabbit hole. Not only was I watching patients leave every day at the Cleveland Clinic without options around them, and some of them not having any idea what Whole Foods is, right? So it wasn't. It's not their fault. It's part of our the great marketing that has happened throughout our lifetimes. And I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and we'll be driving, and they know the colors, they know the brands, they know exactly if we're stopping to get coffee that there's donuts there too. Like they're programmed already. So it's amazing, like what we're able to communicate when we want to. But really, the necessity, it's going to go right back to that 2,000 years ago when Hippocrates said, "Let food be thy medicine." I mean, that's truly it. I mean, in its simplest form, it can do some amazing things. So that's what the concept's inspired on, is connecting people with their own food journey, which is why you can come in and customize your bowl with over 35 different ingredients. So it's kind of like a Chipotle on steroids, where it is as fun and there's as bold flavors, again, by certified chefs who have done the work, to now present you. Basically, we'll be your private chef every single week, where you can sign up for a meal plan or taste some of our really cool creations. So I think we found a way to kind of, present comfort foods in different ways, whether it's a taco salad or a hot nacho, or we've got incredible nitro coffee, like we kind of cover it all here in the eatery, but that's just kind of like the hook to get you in. So then when you taste these amazing flavors and start to believe that plant-based can find its way into your cuisine, that's when the benefits start to happen. It's not really the first visit. It's really making us, meatless Monday or, or weekday vegetarian kind of thing. So again, there's so many different opportunities to take advantage of our service. And we're just really lucky to be in such a great community.
That's fantastic. So you have a delivery option for your meals.
Mm-hmm.
You now have this store and you kind of already talked about like how this kind of all started, like where this all came from. But is there anything that you know now that you kind of, from a business standpoint, that you wish you knew when you started? Because you haven't been around like a super long time, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been exposed to many different corporate accounts, as a chef for Cleveland Indians at Progressive Fields, the Boston Bruins, Boston Celtics, lots of sports. I've done every sporting event you could think of. So for me, it's always been managing multiple concepts with a large scale team. So I knew what I wanted to do was not just open a restaurant. And no, that's what it kind of looks like from the outside, but I really wanted to create this concept. And then the concept kind of continued to evolve, and now it's a health brand. And now we're starting to interact with like people, right? Who are trying to accomplish the same goal, but we need each other to be able to get there, right? So that's where Paragon Fitness comes in right behind us, and Forward Fuel, which is another. They're doing the nutrition actually for me for we're calling it Go Josh Go instead of Run Forest Run. I competed in the Titan Games, for the season 1 with The Rock, and then I've been on these like kind of binge workout diets, if you will, right? And every time I'd feel great, then I'd for some reason stop, and then I'd fall back into it. But I had enough energy before to kind of re-engage, and after the pandemic, it just took so much out of me to like stay just to keep going after losing our jobs at the ballpark, being furloughed just like everybody else. Again, no baseball. We made a decision to move forward with Go Buddha. At that time, it was just it was a hobby, 10 orders a week, friends and family. But I saw something really special there, and I knew that at the core, this could be a food solution, for moving forward. So yeah, it could be kind of trendy, and it's going to be really fun. And people walk in, they see how interactive it is, and how we can really complement whatever is going on in your life. But I'm thinking long term with it, versus necessarily coming in to see the restaurant. I want to reach everybody across the nation as well. So we do deliver 6 days a week. We're open 6 days a week. We ship nationwide, actually, overnight UPS air. So, which was a necessity during the pandemic because we couldn't reach anybody, right? So from a hobby in my kitchen at home to realizing that we needed to start to connect with somebody to be able to survive during the pandemic. And that's when we took the spot in Rocky River, which I think was a great decision. It was a tough one because as a small business owner, during the toughest, economical time I've ever seen in my life, this to choose this time to start my dream was probably the toughest and hardest time to do it. But it was the only time I would ever get the okay from the wife to stop, working at the ballpark, right, to pursue this. So it was kind of, it's ironic that we had to, give up so much to get something that we really love. And, because you can look back at the past year and just see how many lives were, cost due to the pandemic and just the trials and tribulations, and just, it was a very difficult time for all. It's still difficult. It's very difficult, to be honest with you. Every week is my first priority is our staff and just making sure that the business keeps going. Because I believe if you have a direct line to your customers and you have a good product, you just got to keep staying. You just got to stay in business. Right now, it's not a matter of, are we making a ton of money? It's a matter of, are we accessible? Are we affordable? Can we operate in the most sustainable, fashion? And overall, are we connecting? Are we resonating with our guests? And I think, based on our reviews, we really are. And I think that's the point. So down the road, I'm sure we'll hit that tipping point where it'll magically just start to happen. And I don't know when it will happen, but we're going to continue to work as hard as we can until we get there, right?
Yeah, that's great. And it's, when you think about all the things you kind of did along the way, the pandemic hit, you became nimble and agile and thought, okay, let's pivot. How can we, take advantage of this bad situation? And another thing you did, I thought was really interesting is you position yourself to not start a business alone, but to find a community to grow with and to partner with people and grow together, which I think is super important. I think a lot of small businesses think, well, I'm going to do this one thing and I'm going to do it in my room and no one knows that I'm here and how am I ever going to get business? But when you make these relationships and build together and grow something, I think it can be super powerful. How can people engage with you? What do you prefer? Are you on Instagram, or do you feel like Facebook is big for you? Where do you feel like you can grow best?
Well, that's a great question. I'm personally in the eatery every single day, which I want to be accessible to meet people. I think it's really powerful, when you can have that conversation and you can make that connection. And that's like the whole purpose of what we're doing. And someday we'll be big enough where maybe that's not as easy, but we're about to start some more online classes actually as well. We've been calling this thing a meal club, right? We've got a weekly meal club. It was really just an affordable way for them to sign up and get a discounted price on the meals as they purchase more for the week. But we want to continue to make that, more of a club, right? So we started the Just Go series, and we've had featured several local businesses, nutritionists and dietitians who approve of the cuisine, and they kind of walk through their own custom bowl actually on the line too. So it's kind of fun to see their journey and what they're highlighting. So we're strong on Instagram right now. We're strong on Facebook. And I think Instagram probably is the platform right now where we find the most engagement. But I think it's just a matter of time too, because we, again, went through, after starting in the summer, we saw, a little bit of success, which was, I think it was like a false feeling, because we were like, we're going to be fine. We're going to be great. And then September hit, and I've never been, I never owned a small business during a slower months, right, of the season. I've always been a part of the Boston Bruins or the Celtics, or, things that sell themselves. It really didn't matter about what I was doing, right? So here it's like, waiting for somebody to walk into the restaurant was a really different feeling. So I have a ton of respect for my peers. I've always had respect for my peers, but like, my God, like the stuff that they go through mentally every single day just to stay afloat and provide a service and an experience for everybody around here. So, I mean, the next time I'm able to go to a restaurant, right, take a day off, I am going to savor that moment, because I just know how hard and how much work goes into behind the scenes just to open that door.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you enjoy, just kind of to wrap up, what is something that you enjoy doing on your free time that has nothing to do with being a chef?
My kids at home. Actually, yesterday I took a day off for my wife's birthday, and she had quite of a list for me. So I was putting like papers down. I feel like my back's broken, but that is what I love to do. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, anyways. Just to be, just to be happy, and being happy. I guess everybody's got their own definition, but I find myself just kind of completing this circle. No matter how hard I work, it's just a matter to get home and spend more time with my family. So I really want right now to make the biggest impact on their future environments, right? And as if I want, as a chef, you're only as good as your last meal. So I feel like that's my driver right there. Is if I can't be the best, father, dad, chef, then I can't. I'm not saying I'm providing, the best environment for them. So that's the ultimate. When you wake up in the morning, did I do enough? Is kind of what I ask myself. And that's one of those tough questions, because you should never answer yes. You've always got more to give. So that's how I start my day, and it's tough to turn it off, but you got to. And actually got a third baby on the way in October.
Oh, congratulations. That's fantastic.
I know. I did leave the ballpark as well, so I'm now 100% of the time here at Go Buddha. We're going to drive this thing. So very excited for future collaborations with some local businesses as well. So we have the 24-hour food ATM, and we're about to launch a couple more here within the Cleveland area. So we'll be expanding in different ways, but as you pointed out, during the pandemic, we're 24/7. You can order any time of the day, and that ticket flies through that machine. So when we walk in to start the day here to open the eatery, we're kind of prepping already those meals that you pre-selected before you fell asleep. So it's a very cool model. I think it works very well. We just gotta keep surviving.
I love it. Hey, Josh, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time. Good luck with everything.
Thanks. Appreciate this.
Thank you so much for watching that interview. If you want to learn more about Go Buddha, you can go to their website, check them out on social, tag them, and visit them. It's a super cool restaurant. It's a really cool idea. And you can check out their food ATM, which is a really, really cool idea too. We'll have all of the tags and links in our comments. So please check all that out. Again, this was day one. It's food. So tomorrow we have a whole new sector. It's Main Street. and we'll release a new video tomorrow. But if you want to know any more about Engage Small, you can go to engagesmall.com. We've also got more details about our week of engagement there. You can see us on Facebook and Instagram at Engage Small. If you want to participate, be featured, or help out in any way, you can go to our website and fill out a contact form for that. If you are a small business or a freelancer, there's tons of resources on our website that we think are helpful to you, but check them out. If there's anything you need or a question that you have, reach out to us. We will try our best to answer it. So until tomorrow, engage small with your favorite small businesses. Thanks.